The private sector has been described as the engine of growth of developing countries and emerging economies like Ghana. A stronger private sector will result in job creation, increase in tax revenues, and poverty reduction. However, the sector has been beset by various challenges, including the inadequate capacity of the sector to dialogue with government on issues affecting it. Hence, legislation passed and enforced was without prior consultation with the private sector and impeded the development and growth of the sector.
Business advocacy is for the private sector to address a need to influence the public legislation, laws and policy that affect the business environment of the private sector.
The program ran 3 phases from 2004 to 2020 and received support from the Danish International Development Agency, a lead partner, Department for International Development, United States Agency for International Development, and the European Union.
The Danish embassy, together with other development partners, sought the need to bring about capacity building needs for the private sector to thrive. So the BUSAC was set up to provide an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive in Ghana.
Over the life of BUSAC, we've had the opportunity to really strengthen our donor harmonization partnership. At some point, we had up to 4 development partners all working through Danida to support business advocacy here in Ghana.
Here at the European Union, we share with Danida and with the other partners of the fund that a healthy public-private dialogue is at the basis of a good business environment that can favor the increase of private investment in Ghana as in any other country. And so BUSAC was set up to fill in this gap, to equip the small and medium enterprises to be able to do good advocacy and to address their problems and issues with the Ghanaian regulators.
Under Phase 3 of the program, which ran from 2016 to 2020, the fund provided over 360 grants across the 16 regions of Ghana.
The first phase was mainly sensitizing and doing a lot of public awareness on the need for associations and the private sector to raise their voice. In the second phase, we focused a lot on district level advocacy. We focused a lot on enhancing the capacity of those associations to systematically and in a constructive way address their needs to government. And finally, in this phase, the last 5 years, we have enhanced the capacity of the associations, and now government and public sector, they realize the need to sit together and constitute roundtable discussions and platforms for dialogue. For the benefit of both the public and the private sector, the business environment will be improved.
Our private sector are effectively being handed the keys to the economy. And they've been handed the keys to the economy to allow them to flourish, to grow. If the private sector is unable to take advantage of that, basically the net impact of those policies are zero. That is why the role of BUSAC becomes important, very, very important. If you look at Ghana, our economy, very much like many African countries, is micro, small and medium. And these micro, small and medium are over 70% of the GDP of our country. So the development of the MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises policy, was a key factor where BUSAC helped us as government through our National Bureau of Small Scale Industries in a lot of the work with the private sector on the continental free trade area, making sure, and we continue to do so, that our private sector is ready to take full advantage of that. So you begin to see how it is knitted together.
I think the role of NBSSI, the National Board for Small Scale Industries, has evolved with the support of BUSAC Fund. Most often people go to partners and say, I want funding. But our relationship was not, I want funding. It was, I needed support. And how you were going to give it to me, be it funding or non-funding, was so relevant and important. It didn't end there. They supported us to build the MSME policy, and that is so important. I mean, you can see a trend of a strategic plan which was for an institution to having an MSME policy that was for a nation. And without having that plan for the nation, we couldn't even talk about transforming NBSSI, which is where we're looking to do, to transform to be an authority.
One of the national associations that is really representing small and medium-sized enterprises, the Association of Small-Scale Industries has been receiving support from us in terms of capacity enhancement.
Association of Small-Scale Industries is an apex association. That is an umbrella that have about 30 to 40 sector associations coming together. We, those who are manufacturing and then servicing, we have something that is very important. Food and Drugs Authority have to assess our businesses, those into soft drinks, food and drugs and other things. We were able to get a support from BUSAC Fund for us to sit down and jaw. At the end of the day, Ghana Standard Board, Food and Drugs Authority have now given us about 50% has reduced when you are a member of our association, that is us. And now all over the country, our membership drive have risen. So now we are about 2,920,000, while we were around 170. And that all is coming from the support from BUSAC Fund.
Private and public sectors were not working in unison. But the moment BUSAC stepped in and started resourcing them, giving them funds, engaging research fellows for them, giving them time to come out with their problems, I think they come out with good proposals which go to Parliament. Parliament debates on it. And through that, they've got a lot of legislative instruments done by the government, approved, and most of them have become laws.
The construction industry, as we speak today, can look around and say a very big thank to BUSAC Fund. The reasons being that BUSAC Fund has played a very key important role in the formation of the chamber, which is currently serving as an apex body for the construction industry, which culminated into the formation of the public-private dialogue platform that we can be proud of today to say has been able to harmonize the synergy of 42 strong key stakeholders in the construction industry that came together to dialogue on the platform on the issues of policies, regulations, legislative issues affecting the construction industry.
The BUSAC Fund has supported several policies and bills which have been approved by the government of Ghana, contributing to an improved business environment. Key national policies and bills include the Engineering Council Act 2011, Act 819 passed in May 2011, National Road Safety Authority Bill passed in August 2019, Sugar Policy approved by Cabinet in December 2019, Tree Crop Development Authority Bill passed in December 2019, MSME Policy and Enterprise Ghana Agency Bill passed in November 2020, Corporate Insolvency Bill passed into law in April 2020, and the Companies Act 2019, Act 992 passed in May 2019.
The Company Act itself, the Act 992, basically gives you the constitutional framework of a company as a legal person. Okay. The new law we have changed and modified the previous laws we had substantially. Remember that the previous law was enacted in 1963. Now, since 1963 to 2019, quite a few years have passed, and the world we knew, 63, is now very different from today's world. The other law, which I'm very, very excited about, has to do with the corporate insolvency. And one of the key features of this new law is that when a company is distressed, it can apply for administration. Financially, everybody will stay put for a while to make sure that the company is turned around and that it's made viable again. Luckily, we have those two companion laws now approved, and we are very happy that BUSAC has been an integral part of our journey to get the passage of these two laws.
Over the years, BUSAC Fund has supported the Association of Ghana Industries to improve the business environment. AGI has approximately 2,000 members in the small, medium and large-scale manufacturing and service industries.
Indeed, I would say that we have been one of the major beneficiaries, if not the very first beneficiary of BUSAC activities. And we undertook a number of projects. BUSAC supported us, so we picked a number of sectors which are critical to Ghana's development. And especially when we were having the power cuts, what was the impact on businesses. And we came out with a study that showed that indeed businesses were adversely affected. It was affecting our competitiveness. So government needed to do something quickly and strategically about it.
Between 2004 and 2020, a total of 419 grants were given to private sector organizations at the national level. 11% of grants went to advocacy action at the regional level and 53% to private sector organizations at the district level.
The impact is very much felt at the district level and also at the national level, where the interventions were mainly implemented. So for instance, we have some interventions like women having access to land.
NODA has a membership over 2,000 plus, and about 95–98% of the members are women. And we are basically into farming activities. The issue of access to farmlands came up. So we deliberated on the issue until somebody linked the association with BUSAC. BUSAC did approve a proposal and had given us funds to implement an activity that women having access to farmlands.
Ya mangale te paɣar naawuni ni group maa tin kpali maa domi ti raabin yɛri kɔb sɔŋsim n sɔŋdi ti mansi ka BUSAC nim daa kana ti sɔŋti bin daa sɔŋti maa ya mangale ti deei paɣabu zaŋ kana domi bin sɔŋti maa ti pa nyɛri eka dibaayi eka ti chɛli di nyɛla din yɛn sɔŋti zaŋ kpa ti mini ti bihi maa polo domi ti ŋmarili maa ti bihi maa yi ti yiɣisina bi ku nyɛli.
In terms of communities and the farmer associations we have been helping, it has been an eye-opener for them to go to the district assemblies and to dialogue with them on improving their business conditions. And business conditions could be access to water, infrastructure, dams. These are the achievements that have been helping, which have resulted in increased productivity and increased revenue and farmer output.
What actually led us to BUSAC Fund have to do with our agribusiness aspect. Most of our ag growers, you could see that they are doing their best all the time. When it is farming season, our major crops is maize and rice, among other minor crops. So we realized that at the end of the day, they were getting poor yields. But the training has enhanced their knowledge. Comparatively, after the training, they are able to get up to 10 to 11 bags of maize, that is per acre. They are able to get to 12 to 13 bags of rice per acre.
The fund has supported many associations campaigning for the preservation and sustainability of natural resources. These include financial and technical support to Hen Puano and Friends of the Nation who work in the fisheries sector.
Friends of the Nation is a social environmental NGO. We have been working with fisher folks for some time, and there were key policy issues that we needed to address. And we approached BUSAC for support to be able to address those policy issues.
Sanya BUSAC and Friends of the Nation are in charge for your mobile papa. Baya imfa baya don olukodoni. Friends of the Nation they be an wa friend Eshezi. Friend of BUSAC auna lo kan wa ma yakọ Accra. Yeki sha bi o chekwanda. Mrisa ya freduma no arsai. Wa ma yakọ Axim. Yeki sha ye dan afarfo a wo ye da ya yakor.
Our organization, BUSAC funded our project and they've supported us financially. Issue of illegal fishing in Ghana has become a front burner issue for the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, and they've been able to enact regulations and even amend regulations to impose stiffer sanctions on illegal fishing. And when we come to our sustaining compliance and enforcement in fisheries, now we're able to get the district assemblies to enact bylaw to protect mangrove and also able to harvest the mangrove sustainably so that continually you have mangrove coverage in those rivers.
The BUSAC Fund, as part of her exit strategy and sustainability, wanted to find out how private sector development advocacy can be institutionalized and can be sustained. CCOD have had a lot of experience and capacity and was able to present a convincing proposal to the BUSAC Fund management, and it was approved that yes, the concept of private sector development advocacy has evolved in Ghana and had made very great impact and rules in terms of our legal regime, in terms of our policy formation, and in terms of best practices that have contributed to more job creation and more revenue for the state. And so BUSAC Fund has supported us in this regard. We have been able to build our capacity as a result of training. We have been able to build our capacity as a result of getting stakeholders to rally behind the idea, and we have conducted research which we have gathered all the necessary curriculum that we need to run the program effectively.
Job creation has been a very important objective for us to reach, and we can see through the feedback of those we have been supporting that is generating more job creation.
So the BUSAC legacy post-2020, where the Danish government support would have ended, we see sustainability in two levels: the grantee level and also at the economic level. At the grantee level, the BUSAC Fund has provided capacity building support in terms of training, in terms of financial management, that the grantees have been working with over the period. Again, the training that has been given to the grantees have had a cascading level where the knowledge have been transferred, be it one organization to other organization.
As a result of BUSAC's activities, the private sector is now thriving.
Problems that were addressed that have been resolved have put this company in the condition to prosper, to make the business stronger, to become more resilient.
The legacy of the BUSAC Fund can be looked upon in different ways. By building the capacity of associations, our legacy that we are leaving is that associations are strengthened and are able to sustain business advocacy in the future.